The hustle and bustle life has sometimes washes away the most authentic human emotions. Will you ever spend a short amount of time searching for yourself? A reality so obvious that I think we have forgotten our finite existence. And then when I awoke, it was the time I heard Paul Kalanithe's book, When Breath Becomes Air.
Bill Gates once said that I don't know how Kalanithi found the physical strength to write this book, why he was so debilitated by the disease and then potion chemotherapy. So who is Paul Kalanithi? Paul was born in 1977. He is an Indian-American neurosurgeon and writer. He graduated from Yale School of Medicine in 2007. At Yale, Paul met fellow medical student Lucy Goddard, who would become his future wife. After graduating at Yale, he completed his residency training in neurosurgery and a postdoctoral fellowship in neuroscience at Stanford University School of Medicine. In May 2013, Paul was diagnosed with metastatic stage 4 lung cancer. He died at the age of 37 in March 2015. His book, When Breath Becomes Air, is a memoir about his life and illness battling lung cancer. This book can be divided into two parts. The first one helps us understand thoroughly about Paul's successful education, his second life in hospital, and the way as well as Paul interacted with patients and with his colleagues. Second, and also the main part of this book, is the process he battled with cancer, some enormous events and important decisions.
The content of the book is about a medical student with a passion for research, Paul Kalanithi. He mentions death, which makes living things stop working, after all, has great meaning and brings beauty to life. A talented doctor, a major neurosurgeon at Stanford, Paul was diagnosed with late-stage lung cancer at the height of his career. At the age of 36, from a doctor who treated people who are about to die, now he is a patient struggling to live. More specifically, Paul and his wife, Lucy, decided to have children despite or even for that reason, his diagnosis. Paul was with his wife when she gave birth, but at that time he was too weak because of chemotherapy to be able to carry his daughter in his arms. 8 months later, Paul died only a few hundred meters from where his daughter entered the world, at the same hospital. After reading this book, we had some personal opinion that we would like to share with you all. We both agree that this book may not be so literary or so rich in knowledge, but it is truly a book that promises to bring you moments of contemplation to think about life, about meaning, about value, about fear and courage, many things that we nearly forget in this hustle life. There's a very valuable detail in this story that we want to mention is the relationship between Paul and his wife. He likened it into a pressure cooker. What took Paul into another trajectory that he himself could not even realize. We think that many families get into this trouble, not only Paul's family. If this upheaval had not happened to him, this relationship would have come to an end.
And although this book receives a lot of praise, we would like to point out some unsatisfied things. When reading this book, I feel like I can get a panoramic view. I can feel all the difficulty he has to suffer from. Everything seemed to be fast. It's because he wrote this book when he has already known his disease and he didn't have time as well as health to show the reader an overall about his illness. If cancer patients are looking for a book with most common solution to live with cancer, this book is completely unavailable. The whole book is his personal contemplation when he was close to death. This is no longer a story of science, but a story of life.
After all, this book brings us many meaningful lessons. Paul's story teaches us about success. Many people think that we go to university to get a job, to earn money later on, but Paul is not like that. He becomes a neurosurgeon because he is always attracted by brain. He searches for knowledge every time to satisfy his curiosity, and we think that's the key of success. The second lesson is that do not rush to give up your life, but try to live as optimistically as possible until the last breath. Even when the worst happened to Paul, he was always looking for a solution to be able to work most effectively. He understands his situation. As a resident, my highest ideal was not saving lives. Everyone dies eventually, but guiding a patient or family to an understanding of death or illness. When breath becomes air is a meaningful gift that Paul Kalanithi left for this life. Never lose yourself. Cherish, build and enjoy the beautiful life with your loved ones where you can. We believe that are extremely poignant messages that the book aims to.